It's back to school, and parents have enough to remember. I mean, so does pretty much everybody else right now, right? Things change. There's activities, there's groceries, there's appointments, there's work. And AI has entered family organization. But does that actually make life easier? Today we're looking at Ohai.ai, and we're going to check to see if it's worth your time and money. I'm Caitlin, and this is GBRLIFE Reviews, where I test the tools so you don't waste your time, your money, or your energy, just mine. So let's get into Ohai and check out what this actually is. Family organizer? You have a lot to live up to. Inside of Ohai we go. This is the main page. Now, I can say from directly going into here that you can see it is friendly for a family. And it is trying to be a shared calendar, a task reminder, grocery list, meal planning, family communication hub. But in my eyes, I see it as a little bit more because I see that this is something that does actually work with everyone. So let me go into what I like, what I don't like, pricing, all that fun stuff, so you can see the good, the bad, and the ugly, basically. I don't think there's much ugly here, actually. So just the good and the bad. Let's go in. Okay, so I just set this up, but I did do something fun. It automatically asks you whether or not you're interested in having it scan your email. That's one of the first things it does as you're going through the sign up and setup process. So even though it's saying that my day is wide open, this is only based off of events that it was able to scan based off of my calendar that I decided to add because it works with many different kinds, and based off of anything it scanned from my email that I gave it access to. So right now it's saying that there's not much, but I can add an event immediately. Now, if I continue along, you'll see that it's going through and saying my upcoming to-do are school-related. And this is because the first thing that I did when I got into the AI side of it, which I'll show you in a moment, I did make sure to tell it every single email, the actual email itself from the school, to scan my emails for those emails so that it would automatically add to my calendar. And then that would allow for anything that comes up in the future to go ahead and add it to my to-do list immediately. So we know that school's coming up. So we know that there's Meet the Teacher Night. We know that we need to get the house color shirts, and we know that there is a fund run that's coming up because it was in an email. And I gave it the specific email to search for not just the document inside there, not just the data inside there, but saying it's from thisschool.com. And it found all that for me. I did not provide it that information. Now here we have the main interface. You can see it's clean and relatively modern. It's not exactly your Pinterest, folder areas that you're going to go into that specific list and be able to figure out exactly what you want like other family tools. And this is the reason why I actually would say this works for everybody, because you can make your to-do list anything you would like it to be. You don't have to decide it's school related. You can decide it's whatever you want related. And then you also have your household, but that could be your partner. That could be a couple friends that you need to work with. That could even be some of your business partners. So here is your AI side of things. When you go into it, you start talking to it about anything that you need to talk about. You can say, let's go into calendar management. You can give it a voice memo. You can do document processing. You can also go into your list or your to-do lists. You can also see your chat history right here. If I were to select calendar management, it brings me directly into what do I need updating. I can say add an event, scan an email, my day ahead, household, free time. I can say, you know what? Let's add an event. All right, today I will be posting I almost said vlog post review about Ohai. Set a reminder to post at 6 p.m. Okay, and there it is. That's it. It already added it to my calendar. And here's the thing, I can just say it. I don't have to do this by typing. I can also do this on my phone. It's that simple. Because when you're setting up this entire interface, you're also doing it by giving it your phone number, which means you can text it and it will still update just like this. So it's as simple as writing a text or going into the actual app and working through there. But they try to make it as easy as possible for you. Now, the other option here is you can, again, do your voice memo, but you can also go directly to your calendar. And through here, you can add in specific tags for each person. You can add in specific tags for your health, your meals, your connection, social, school. It has pretty much all of those things that you typically see. This is your to-do list in an organization tool. But the reason I think that this one is a little different, Bracy Circle, the reason I think this one is a little different is because it's made to be your assistant truly. It's made to give you this little octopus and say, hey, I'm your buddy. Let's work together to make this happen. And let's centralize a whole bunch of different apps into one place. You don't have to have to-do lists in another place. You can go in and you can create meals by having a conversation with me, and we'll figure this out together. Or I'll just figure it out for you. And you can add people from your household directly on here by going through your contacts. You can also add in health information, your different appointments. I didn't add anything yet, but I probably will. Then you have your school calendar. Over here, when you select this, which I can't go into because it'll give too much information about where my children go to school, this basically you click on it and it'll ask you what your zip code is and it will bring up all of the schools in that area. You select the school that you want or you provided the calendar yourself and it will automatically add that calendar. If you don't want this to be about your school, you can always say your work calendar and actually add in that information by saying upload this file. Done. And it will upload the information you need. Anything that requires action, your email scans, doc scans, and voice memos. And then most importantly, you can access your email scans and your doc scans directly from here. Now, the other thing that you can do with this is ask it to do an automation. And I actually found this from their YouTube channel because I have one of those too. And they help you understand how to use Ojai to the best of their abilities, your abilities, and make it actually really work for you. And I really love that because they're not trying to have you figure it out all on your own. You can go directly in here and figure it out by just looking at their little tutorials of simple things like making it an thing. For example, if you were to go over to your chat and you were to say that you wanted you could go directly in here and basically say, can you every single Wednesday provide a summary of all of the different festivals or events that are good for children between the ages of 6 and 8. Those are the ages of my children. They're currently 6 and 7. My son is about to turn 8 years old. So I would be the type of person to go and ask for that. And I did. Now, it didn't work right away. So Ojai immediately added a human to fix it and add in that automation. But that means that no matter what you're trying to do, they're going to make sure that they add in those automations, those lists, and those tools for you. There is no waiting. There's no worrying. They make it happen. So where do you find that? You press that how to, and it brings you directly to their YouTube channel. It's that simple. But going back to the actual site, you can also add in any app syncs. You can add in email syncs, and you can add in a whole lot of information about your family. So the more you add, the better it's going to work for you. But now let's get into the things I don't like. First and foremost, in order to make this happen, I had to provide my phone number. That wasn't a choice. If you want to use this tool, it needs your phone number. And I don't know that that's something that we all want to actually do. It's our phone number. What do you mean you need that? But it does do what it needs to do with that phone number. Like there's actual reasons it's using that phone number. So while it's a requirement, it's still pretty invasive. Also, AI of course is helpful, but it's not magical. I had to ask it to create that automation and it did, but after human intervention. Plus, here's an example of a small chat that I had, and it just said, one of those, hey, select from this list if you want, or you can, of course, type in on the bottom. And I just said, oh, yeah, show me my calendar for next week. And it gave me basically that nothing was really there. And then I said, oh, so plan some family activities so that I could see if I could add a little bit more. And then when it went into it, it was like backyard night, ice cream outing, park and picnic dinner. These are great things, but for one, I work Monday through Friday, so that's a little difficult to plan all of that. And then also, I said, you might want to check the temperature in Texas right now. It's pretty hot. And so it did change and pivot that, but it still said ice cream outing and make it a quick in and out. So then what's the point? My thing is, it's great, but it's not, again, magical. And you have to work with this to build those habits. So it's going to do everything it can to work with you, but it's not this perfect tool that is going to automatically fix your life immediately. It requires your setup, basically. As you can see, it needs an entire household here. It has all the things I've added. It has things for my calendar, but this really works best if everyone in the family is participating. That way, everyone sees what's going on and you're not constantly still having to take that mental load. So this is a great tool if everyone decides to participate. And not everybody may want to, especially because you have to provide that phone number and just information they may not feel comfortable providing. Plus, some of these features feel like they're overlapping. Okay, so you're prepping your day for your daily dump, and every other little thing, it's kind of like, well, what do you want me to go and look into or summarize or give you the summary of this thing? It's saying a lot of the same things. It's not really giving like this wow information of ways to really use it. So I would absolutely say that going into those how-to videos is it's a game changer, because I didn't even know there was automation that was available for this until I saw those videos. I do my research. And then the other thing I don't really love is that depending on your workflow, it may replace several apps. But the reality too is that it might just be another one to check. So I haven't really determined if this is going to truly replace everything long term. I think one of the biggest factors is that email scan and providing things directly into your to-do list, because if that's consistently working, so for a parent side of this, if I'm providing my kids' teachers' emails to scan for and put it directly in my to-do list and everything from the school, that's already a huge weight off of my back. But is it consistently going to do that? Or do I need to constantly check my email versus this to make sure it got everything? But then that's just another task. So obviously that's not what I'm going to want to do, which brings us into the price. I took a screenshot of it, but this is basically it. And it's basically another thing I'm not a big fan of. Essentially, you can see that you can go for your free, which is your basic, and that is daily briefing, reminders, household to-dos list, meal planning, your contact book, school sync, but you won't get your shared family calendar, calendar management, scanned email docs, and your one-on-one call setup. So that's not fun. Or you can go for premium and basically get everything. Now, here's where the premium side is. You can spend $30 a month if you're going to add in 5 people within your family. If you want to add in just 2 people, that's $19.99 a month. And if you're adding in just you, it's $10 a month. But as I had said, I feel like this is a tool that's really only worth it if you're getting your entire family to use it. Which brings us to that other question. Is it worth it? Well, it could really be worth it if you're juggling kids, work, and home, like I am, like many of us parents are. And if you feel like you may be constantly forgetting the little things and you're struggling with communication within your family, you may want one place for everything. But I wouldn't really suggest this if you already love your current calendar system, because there's many out there. And especially if somebody wants more of that hub feel, this isn't really that, because it's going to be available on your phone or it's going to be available on your computer. But it's not something you're putting, I mean, I guess you could. You could technically get a tablet and put this on as in your kitchen or something, or on the wall as a hub. But this is only going to work if you actually use it. That's really the point. So I wouldn't use it if that's the case for you. And if you need reminders to go check on the tool, obviously that's not going to work. And that's the reason why for the GBRLIFE rating, I'm giving Ojai a 3.5 out of 5. Because I do think this is a very, very good tool. And more importantly, because it's not really competing with a calendar app. The whole point of Ohai and what makes it very different from other tools is that it's competing with the mental load of parenting. And that's why I gravitated towards it. Because again, the whole point here is to make your life easier. And yes, those other calendar tools do make your life easier, But it also requires a lot out of you to make sure that all of that stuff ends up on that calendar. Whereas this one's like, you don't need to do that. I'm going to search all that information for you. I'm going to go get that school calendar for you. Just tell me what school. Just tell me what emails you'd like me to look through so I don't look through everything and add every single thing to your calendar. So that setup is there. And that's why it starts to lose a little bit of points, because you have to do that setup. But it also loses a big point because the pricing is pretty expensive when you were talking about 30. Well, it's technically starting at 10, but this is a family tool or a multi-person tool. So it's really starting at $20 to $30 a month for that. So that's a lot of money a month that you're spending on something like this, but it could be a game changer. So technically, I mean, my 3.5 rating may be completely wrong for you, and it could be a 4 or 4.5 if it changes your life and it's everything you always wanted it to be. For me, I'm using it. I need this thing. I'm very busy, and that sounds amazing. It scanned everything for me. It's already doing that. I'll take the time to set it up. I'll take the time because I am a busy human and I need the extra mind to remind me of everything that is going on with my kids' school. And I think a lot of parents feel the same way. You go to your 9-to-5 job, you're dropping your kids off at school. They have a bunch of things going on because currently my kids are in elementary school, so it's a lot. And then for many of us, we have our sidekicks. GBR Life, anybody? But that's it for this week. And now I want to know what you think. Have you used Ojai before? Drop that in the comments below. And if you want more, remember you can check out the companion blog over at GBRLIFE.com. It's linked below. And remember, with everything on GBRLIFE.com and my fabulous Mama Koala clothing line, you don't have to be without GBR Life in your life. Now check out the next review coming up right here on this side of the screen. Go ahead. Let's get into it.
Not your bit less, logging through the motherhood maze with GBR Life. Stay